Welcome to Head Full of Radio, where a longtime Radiohead fan goes through the whole recorded discography alongside his friend, who's only familiar with the song Creep. Will we agree on the songs? Can I convert him into a fan? Let's find out. Welcome to episode 123. We are on, I am Andrew. And that is...
Nico. How am I pronouncing my name today? I don't know. Nico.
That sounds very, American.
Just because I feel like I'm reflecting back how people say my name.
How do you say your name?
Well, I literally, day to day, I would just go by Nick a lot of the time. And so when I adapted that, it's such a long story. I use Nick, N-I-C-K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is a lot more boring. But when I moved schools prior to moving schools, I was full naming myself, which for privacy reasons, I will not give away what my full name is.
Right.
And then it's not a big deal. But my head teacher when I moved was like, what if we called you Nico? And I was like, yeah, if you want, sure, do that. But then there was a big time when one of our substitute teachers was having a go at me because one of my teachers was calling me Nico and everyone else was calling me Nico. And she was like, which one is it? And I was like, I don't really care. And she was like, how can you not care? That's your name. And I was like, I don't care. And she got really annoyed that I didn't care how people pronounce my name. So it's just kind of been an ongoing thing where people just say whatever. And I'm like, I'm guessing they're talking about me. So hello.
See, I have a similar thing in that before I met my wife, everyone knew me as Andy. And everyone who met me after her knows me as Andrew. So I answer to both as well, but it's like I can tell the difference between who's known me for a long time versus, you know what I mean? Like anyone who's known me longer than 10 years. So it's kind of weird. I have this double weird association. So I kind of understand it in a strange way.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get exactly. And I have friends like that as well, that they've gone by one name and then they met their partner and then they've just basically renamed them and then that's their new name.
It's just a name. You know?
Yeah, no, I feel the same.
Yeah. Oh, that rhymed.
Why?
Do you do that all the time?
I was going to try to say something smart, but I'm not that witty, so no.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, so we're on the episode of Idioteque. How would you say that? Would you say Idioteque?
I would probably say Idioteque.
Idioteque?
I would just say Idioteque. So I'm just basically
Okay. This was described by Tom as an attempt to capture that exploding beat sound when you're at the club and the PA's so loud, it's doing damage.
The PA?
Yeah, the PA system, like the sound, the system that the music's coming through. Big
Is that
speakers.
What they call that?
Yeah, the big speakers.
I always think PA system. If I think of that, I think of a school where it's like, so-and-so, come to the principal's office.
So
is that something
when
different?
You're at the club and the principal's office is so loud.
This is why I'm just finding that wording really jarring, because I'm that's when you go to think of a very specific visual.
When you go to a concert and there's all the amps on the stage and then there's the system that all the music is coming through. Right? That's the PA system.
Okay. So it's not as strange as I was imagining. Okay. I'm back on board.
Okay. The song began with an electronic rhythm created by Johnny. He created a drum machine using synthesizer modules similar to those available in the 1970s. Feeling the rhythm needed chaos, because he's Johnny, he experimented with found sounds and sampling. He recorded 50 minutes of improvisation and gave it to Tom, who took a short sequence and used it to write the song.
No.
Tom said some of it was just huh? But then there was this section of about 40 seconds long in the middle that was absolute genius, and I cut that up. As with other songs on Kid A, Tom created lyrics by cutting up phrases and drawing them from a hat.
Interesting.
In the second chorus, his vocals are rearranged so that he seems to say the first of the children in 5/4 time, creating a dissonance against the original 4/4 time chorus. That's fun.
Hmm.
Johnny could not remember where the 4-chord synthesizer phrase came from and assumed that he had played it himself, but later realized he had sampled it from a computer music piece by the American composer Paul Lansky. Lansky allowed Radiohead to use the sample.
I don't get how that works.
Yeah, Lansky allowed Radiohead to use the sample after Johnny wrote to him with a copy of it, and so that's kind of funny.
That is funny.
In an essay about the experience, Lansky wrote that he found Radiohead's use of the sample imaginative and inventive, and that he himself had sampled the chord progression from something else, which is has something to do with the Tristan chord, which is a specific movement of notes. It's like F, B, D sharp, and G. It's called the Tristan chord technique. There you go.
There you go, indeed.
Anything else? I'm just looking through some of the quotes from the band. And I don't really, there's a lot of big paragraphs. So let's just go to it. Let us. Are you ready for some Idioteque?
I'm not sure based on that description, but let's give it a go.
Go!
Oh, it really does dive straight in.
Yeah. I think that's the 4-chord thing that was sampled. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yes. It's lower pitched than the original sample, but that's what this comes from.
I cannot imagine Tom singing over this. I can imagine someone rapping over this. And I hope he doesn't do that.
Yo, yo, yo. Who's in the bunker? Who's in the bunker?
Honestly. Who's in the bunker? Who's in the bunker?
Is that better?
Okay, it worked. I was thinking it was a great jarring.
I love that multi-track singing.
This is actually really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, those multi-tracks really bring a lot to it.
I'm very into this, actually.
Awesome.
I'm usually just popping on.
Dude. Me too.
Working. Never heard that before.
If not us, then the children. I love that in the corner, you know? Us and the children. like that we're quiet over the instrumental in techno part.
I'm so into it.
It's like the one time we could talk because there's no vocals. We're just like, yep,
Right.
dancing away.
I'm too invested.
Yeah.
I was not expecting to like this so much. Like, I would listen to this.
Good.
I can see myself just going directly onto Spotify and just adding this to my likes.
I don't know the last time you said that. So that's a great
for real. Oh, we're back.
We are back. We have Idioteque.
I really enjoyed that. I'll just come straight out and say that was probably a Johnny for me. Like, I really enjoyed that.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't really know what to say about it. It was just like it got me bumping my head. So good stuff. I just loved how layered it was. Like it like had that sort of like ADHD needing to like be constantly like preoccupied with things going on. Like what was one of the lines they said as well? It was like everything all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that kind of fits that thing of like just like keep me stimulated, keep me moving, like I'll be disconnected, but if like there's music for me to bump to, then like at least I'm like occupied with that. Like it's fine, this is my coping, this is fine. Like just keep playing. So I was very into that.
That's good. I'm glad. And so you're gonna give that a Johnny?
I'm gonna give that a Johnny.
I think I will too. It's interesting the placement of it on the album, because I think I would consider that. I mean, the radio played a lot of optimistic, but I think that's more of a upbeat, entertaining, interesting song to hear on a radio.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't think if I put that song, like let's say I'm switching to radio stations, if that song comes on halfway through, I'm going to listen to the whole thing because it's like an intoxicating beat.
I think so, yeah.
You know? So I'm also going to give that one a Johnny. We haven't given a Johnny we gave one. You haven't given one in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I can't remember last time I gave it. Well, I can't even remember what music sounds like, so that's just where my brain's at.
Well, on that note, let's end this episode of Idioteque and head on into Morning Bell.
That was a really nice surprise, though. Looking forward to how the rest goes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. This podcast is recorded on Discord and is edited in GarageBand. The intro and outro music are Radiohead covers and can be found on Spotify under the band Lift. That's Lifte, with F as in Foxtrot. Also, find us on TikTok and Vimeo under the name @HeadFullOfRadio.